John Pombe Magufuli, the son of a peasant farmer who became Tanzanian's president in 2015, died at the age of 61. Once praised for his no-nonsense approach, he went on to become a controversial leader, especially over his response to the COVID-19 pandemic. He was elected for a second term in 2020 amid opposition accusations of fraud and intimidation. Before he was president, he acquired the nickname the Bulldozer for driving a program to build roads as a minister for works, and later was hailed for his anti-corruption stance and his distinct dislike for wasting money. When COVID-19 arrived in Tanzania, he did not believe in people staying at home. He wanted them to get into churches and mosques to pray. When he was at the altar of a church in the capital of Dodoma, he said, "Coronavirus, which is a devil, cannot survive in the body of Christ. It will burn instantly." Since June 2020, when he declared the country COVID-free, Magufuli, along with other top government officials, mocked the efficiency of masks, doubted if testing worked, and teased neighboring countries, which imposed health measures to curb the virus. When Magufuli sworn in as president of Tanzania in October 2015, his oriented actions were also framed as applicable to other African countries, a dose of what the continent needed to deal with its governance issues. On the very first day in office as president, he sent a stark message that he would not tolerate the country's chronic absenteeism in its civil services when he visited the finance ministry offices asking for the whereabouts of those not at work. He also purged thousands of so-called ghost workers, essentially non-existent employees, from the public payroll and fired officials considered corrupt or underperforming, and sometimes he would sack them live on TV. He clamped down on what he saw as extravagant spending, cancelling Independence Day celebrations for the first time in 54 years. And instead, he ordered a public cleanup, getting his own hands dirty by picking up rubbish. He also banned all foreign trips for public servants. In the first year of Magufuli's presidency, this approach earned him a great deal of praise, inspiring the Twitter hashtag, "What would Magufuli do?" In 2016, barely 3 months in his presidential seat, his administration announced that the state TV would no longer broadcast live parliamentary proceedings as a cost-cutting measure. The opposition saw this as a censorship and it planned demonstrations against the ban, but the government responded by banning all protests. Another incident was how he responded to a song by Tanzanian rapper Nay wa Mitego in 2017. Less than a day after its release, he found himself locked up and was accused of insulting the president. Furthermore, his critics agree that Magufuli contributed to Tanzania's development, investing in several large infrastructure projects, such as the creation of a standard gauge railway to connect the country with its regional neighbors, the expansion of major highways, and the construction of a bus rapid transit system in the commercial hub of Dar es Salaam. He also increased electricity production to the grid, which reduced the need for power rationing, and he revived the state-run national airline, Air Tanzania, the wings of Kilimanjaro. Born to Magufuli Mako Nyahinga and Susanna Musa in 1959, John Magufuli has been the 5th president of Tanzania since its independence in 1961. He started his primary education at Chato School in 1967 and graduated in 1974. He holds a degree in chemistry and he was a minister several times from the early 2000s before he became the president. He comes from a CMM party known as Chama Cha Mapinduzi.